Okay, I'm just going to make this, before I do my thumbnail picture, I just want anyone to know who starts to watch this video that please watch to the end, okay? You're drawn to it for a reason. There is a period where I discuss some things that happened to me, some dreams that I had, but they're really, really relevant to the reading, okay? So if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, then definitely watch until the end, okay? This is to help you. Welcome to the Cosmic Junkie. I'm here to do an energy read for us, a weekend energy read. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. My channel is a little over 3 weeks old, and it's growing, and I'm gonna get ready to do some live readings, and I might make a poll to see when the best time to do live readings is. And these live readings will not be charged. Like, I'm not gonna charge you, okay? Because they're just going to be short and sweet little mini readings, okay? If you join me on the live, so I will definitely do a poll for that. Let's get it going. Okay, I lovingly call upon our ancestors, angels, spirit guides, and anything and everything divine and holy of the highest white light for our highest good. Please help me channel a weekend message for our viewers, or for whoever needs to hear it. Bless this reading with your protection and guidance. We thank you, Spirit, with all the love and all the gratitude. What do we got going on this weekend? What do we need to see? What do we need to hear? For our highest good. Anxiety. Are you anxious about something? What's this anxiety card? And it's really, really bright. And I just noticed that I don't have on my glasses. Oh, my eyesight is really wonky. I couldn't explain it to people okay. If I tried. Give me 3 cards for this anxiety card here. Anxiety card. Reverse door. Okay, so this could be you, an energy around you, or someone you're thinking of. Okay. Someone you're thinking of. Reversed X. Reverse Moth. Okay, so with this owl here on the bottom, this might be about doling out some wisdom here. Possibly something that you're anxious about. Like, maybe you feel like you're missing opportunities. Maybe you feel like you're not transforming how you should. Maybe you feel like you're not cutting the right things out of your life. Like, everything, like, it's a process, you know? Like, it's not like an overnight thing, transformation. Like, I didn't even know about, like, whenever I started, I didn't even know like spiritual awakenings were like a real actual thing. So just because you're not feeling it does not mean it's not happening, because it could also happen the opposite. You could be going through transformation and not feeling a thing. So mine just happened to be like super scary, just super scary. I used to work about an hour away from where I lived, okay? And I would drive these back roads to and from work. And, you know, during the winter months, the colder months, it was darker whenever I would drive home. And one night, I almost hit a horse. Like a horse that was just standing in the middle of the road. I didn't see him until like the last minute. I was probably like this close because I slammed on my brakes. I was probably like this close from hitting this horse. And all this horse did was turn around and look at me and then like mosey off the road. Like, it was the weirdest thing. I didn't spook him at all. It was just, he sure as hell spooked me though, because the whole way home I shook and I like had this panicked breathing. But then I started getting like on this drive home, I started getting all these flashes. It was like whatever happened helped my clairvoyance like kick in, because it's just like picture after picture, flash after flash, like numbers were flashing in my head. Things that happened like whenever I was a child, like it was, I guess it was like one of those near-death experiences, like where people experience near death, but I didn't die. And from then on, like, I get these visions, right? I just call them messages, but they're just clear pictures that pop in my head. And that was probably about a year into my spiritual awakening experience, like about at the tail end of my dark night of the soul, I would say. Or maybe, no, it was right in the middle of my dark night of the soul that this happened. Another super scary thing that happened was I had the scariest dream I had ever had in my whole entire life. And this was during like when everything just seems all glowy and pretty and brighter and clearer. This is before like the real true healing process starts. And I had this really scary dream. And I pretty much, in my dream, I murdered someone. Like, brutally murdered. Like, hacking them. Like, with an axe. Okay? And then I chopped up the body. And then I was stuffing these body parts. And stay with me, okay? I know it's scary. I know it's weird and scary, but I was putting these body parts in this small trash can because I was going to try to hide this body. Like, I was so scared with anxiety that somebody was going to find out I murdered somebody. And then I was putting the head in the trash can. I realized it was me. Like, I just brutally murdered myself and chopped me up and put me in a little trash can. Okay? And then the dream kind of changes and I'm standing at the edge where all this these really nice bridges and buildings had been built, and I was standing on the edge, and then all of a sudden it all just collapses and, you know, like in this big sinkhole, till eventually like the sinkhole, and I'm like looking down and it's like lava, but I'm not scared. I'm not scared. That didn't make me anxious or anything. I'm not scared. So I had no idea what that dream was about, and it took me a couple of months to figure out that was me pretty much, you know, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. That is me killing my ego dying, my ego death, and my world falling apart before things get better. Like, and this was during a time where things seem really good. So, you know, if you feel like you're not transforming, you are. If you're making those steps to transform, okay? Just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not happening, because it is. And maybe you see it too if you're like a strong clairvoyant or strong seer. So maybe you're having scary dreams, maybe you're having really bad anxiety, or you're just strong clairsentient where you can feel it happening. Okay, maybe it's a door you don't want to go through. Maybe there are things that you don't want to cut out of your life. Okay. I don't know why, you know, if I feel called to tell you, somebody needs to hear it, you know. Justice and Knight of Cups on the cut of the deck here. One, I really think too that one just doesn't understand spiritual awakening. If you haven't gone through it, like if you're not going through it, like you just okay, reverse King of Wands here. Yeah, don't be afraid to close the door on people. Okay, and I think that is the biggest thing with spiritual awakenings. Like maybe you're having all this anxiety because you don't want to give someone up. It's all, and that's normally how it goes. It's all about the people who are around you. If you have a feeling that there's somebody that can't go with you, that feeling is probably right. So be careful before answering the call, because once you answer that call, there's no going back. And that's something that I didn't know. That's something I didn't know. Like if you've answered the call and you're feeling all this anxiety, it's only going to get worse. You have to cut out, you have to close the door on people to move forward. The thing about it is figuring out who's having that issue, And it's hard. I think cutting people out of your life is the hardest thing that you go through. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not. Two of Wands. This is a decision somebody has to make. This is a decision. Sometimes, if you let yourself be yourself, if you're yourself, those relationships fall away naturally. Because most likely, the people you need to get rid of don't like or want your true self. Yeah, maybe this is what you're feeling like in the present here. Like, where's your new beginning? Maybe you have shut the door on people. Maybe you have made that decision. And it's giving you anxiety. Inner wisdom here. I'm telling y'all. You know. I feel like you know what you need to do. And you do. Because it's an inner knowing. It's an inner knowing. Don't worry. When you're answering the call, don't worry about, like, the stuff that you normally worry about. Reverse Four of Cups. Don't worry about being alone, being rejected by anybody, because you're being prepared for all that stuff to be, you know, you're being prepared for a new life. And this could be a pinnacle. You're in a pinnacle, at a pinnacle of your life. Wait. Okay, I got one more to take out here. Give me one more for this reverse moth. The reverse magician. Yeah. If you are having a hard time manifesting, there's still some stuff you got to do. There's still some Ten of Pentacles. If this resonates with you and you're still having a hard time manifesting, this is, you haven't cut something out of your life that needs to be cut out yet. If you're experiencing this anxiety. And with this High Priestess right here in the middle, and the middle is normally a present position. This is saying your inner knowing, you know what that is. Whether this be a person, place, or thing, a habit, mindset. And, you know, cutting people out of your life is the hardest thing to do. But you know what's even harder? Healing from these people. And that's something that you still have to do once you cut these people. So if you're still holding on to somebody and you haven't cut them off yet, like, I don't want to discourage anybody, because you really need to be in the present moment and you really need to take it a step at a time. But you still have to heal from this person too. It's just not cutting them off. It's just not like cutting them off. It's the, you know, healing from them as well. Because if you're holding on to them, you're holding on to them for a reason. Just saying. So give me 2 cards for this upside down door and this reverse King of Wands and this reverse 2 of Wands. Just put the deck on. The reverse 6 of Swords here. Yeah, I feel like there is a decision that needs to be made. Whoever this is resonating for, especially if you are feeling anxiety a lot, all the time. And it might not be people, it just might needs to be, or it might need to be like memory, like a memory. You might need to forgive and release something here. Reverse 5 of Wands. Yeah, this was like a... Since this is, or not a reverse 5 of Wands, but a reverse 5 of Swords. If you are... Swords indicates like in the mind. So this might be something you think about a lot. Like maybe you're holding on to some resentment over somebody who did you wrong. And I think that was it. Because as soon as you let go of any kind of shame, guilt, resentment, hatred, something's going to turn around for you here. Something's going to turn around for you here. If you put whatever this is to death, and the best way to do it, you know, journal about it. Write your feelings out. Write your feelings out and then burn the page. And sometimes you have to do this more than once. And now with the 3rd quarter moon started, this is a great time to do that. Great time. Saturday is actually a great time for that. Today, yeah, get to work. Get to work. Write that out. I'm telling you what to do here. I'm telling you how to go about it. And then just try to think positive, okay? And sometimes that's hard. That's a struggle. And I feel like everybody talks about like getting rewards and manifestations and wanting the rewards and manifestations, but you have to do the work. And this means actively healing your mindset. Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like somebody is going to take heed in this advice, which I love. Like, or else, you know, this is what I love to do. I like to help people. Nobody talks about the real true struggles that you go through. Or very few do. Very few. And if they do, they don't get into it. Like, these struggles can be, like, can leave you, like, immobile. Can, like, debilitate your whole day sometimes. And that's another thing too. Don't let that, if like you're feeling like you need to stay in bed all day, don't be hard on yourself about that. You need to sit there in those feelings and feel it so you can release it. Acknowledge what you're feeling and release it. And yes, there are some things that you're going to have to do over and over and over But this is because maybe it was a mindset or something that was so ingrained into you that it's, you know, like rewiring your mind is hard. It's not easy. Reverse 5 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like nobody talks about how hard it is to let go of ingrained things that you thought you knew, you thought you were. King of Cups. This is, I feel like in this deck, the King of Cups is all about, you know, mindfulness and meditation and being in the present. And sometimes when something feels overwhelming, just start breathing like you would when you're starting a meditation. You focus on your breath. Or the Nine of Swords, the anxiety card. Like if you're feeling anxiety, start breathing. Stop thinking, start breathing. Start focusing on that breath. And do that for about 5 minutes. Count your breaths if you have to. Like, and stop thinking that there's anything wrong with you as well, because you're healing. You're healing. Especially if you've been through all kinds of trauma, if you have stuff that stems from childhood trauma, and not just like society self-limiting beliefs, but like trauma that you go through. Abandonment. If you were meant, you know, it just, but most likely those traumas spurred your spiritual awakening. Like I read something one time where like people who've been through the most like traumatic childhoods are the most likely to develop have spiritual awakenings and develop spiritual gifts. And most likely do the whole thing alone and not knowing what's going on. King of Wands, 2 kings upright. Yeah. Underneath this High Priestess, wowzers. Yeah, I feel like Spirit is saying none of this is a punishment. None of this is a punishment. There are some times when I would like just be just so down and depressed. Like I would be questioning my sanity. I would be questioning why is this happening to me? I mean, do I deserve this? Is this my karma? I feel like Spirit here wants you to know that no, this is not your karma. This is healing. But it can feel like a punishment. It can feel like you want to stop and say, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. Okay, give me a card for this reverse 4 of Cups and this reverse Magician and this reverse Moth. So yeah, I definitely feel like this is for somebody wondering why things might not be happening for you like other people talk about. Reverse Queen of Pentacles. It's definitely because of people I feel like the majority of you, it's people that you don't want to give up. people that you don't want to give up. Maybe you've tried and tried again with somebody. Like, please, like, just understand. And they just don't understand what's going on with you and why it's going on. Maybe some of you don't want to do this because it'll make you feel like selfish. Like you think it'll be selfish to do this. And I also had a hard time with that because it's not selfish. Because really, what were you living before? Were you living for other people? Were you pleasing other people all the time? Not pleasing yourself? Queen of Wands. I feel like this is a yes. You need to find your passion. And there's a match here on the board too. Just saying. A divine match. Divine matches add to your life, not take away from it. They don't drain you. They don't want you to be something you're not. The reverse hangman. And it might help you come out of... I feel like once you realize this, once you realize that there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing. And honestly, the best way, whenever I was shuffling the color oracle, I saw the flow card. That's the best way to get through these things, is to go with the flow. Go with the flow. Be who you are. And let things naturally come to you. Like opportunities to cut things out. Get rid of people. Like, I feel like you'll know when it's time for certain things. Okay? See here. Cancer, Sagittarius, Virgo, Scorpio, Pisces, Gemini, Aquarius, Scorpio. Alrighty. I'm going to leave that here. Thank you for this message, Spirit. I wish you all a very, very great weekend.